Hey poultry farmers, welcome to my channel, and today we want to look at why our chickens keep on dying. So in this video, pay particular attention. Maybe one of the things that cause our chickens to die in our poultry could be something that you've not noticed in your poultry. But today, in this video, we will cover up some of the causes of our chickens to die, especially young chickens. A lot of people experience a lot of deaths when the chickens are still small. Because when they grow, at least that means you've done some of the other parts very well, then you missed some along the way. But today, let's look at the reasons why chickens keep on dying without us knowing what could be the reason. And sometimes it might be why our chickens are not growing very fast and why my chickens keep on getting sick all the time. Maybe one of these points that I will raise up could be the reason why your chickens keep on dying and some are slow in growth. So number one, in this venture as a poultry farmer, one of the things you should consider importantly is the supplier of the day-old chicks that you are buying. Whenever you are buying something, for example, even other businesses, we look at the supplier. Is this supplier genuine? The same thing in poultry farming. Whenever you want to venture into poultry farming, you have to find out which one is the best supplier of day-old chicks. It doesn't matter which chickens you are buying, whether layers, broilers, or local chickens. All those matter in order for you to make a profit out of this business and for you not to starve, like having difficulties to grow these chickens and how to sell them when they are at maturity. Or when they start producing eggs, then you find that they are not producing enough eggs. A supplier is very important. You always have to have a supplier who is reputable, a supplier who is consistent, who has produced best chickens. So as a poultry farmer, especially for beginners, before you even venture in, ask somebody who's got experience, then they'll show you who is the best supplier in the game. It's always the best in the game. Sometimes they might be not be consistent, but the consistent they've proven could be the best choice for you to go with them. But when it comes to local chickens, whenever you are buying local chickens, especially day-old local chickens, then you find that they are weak. You find that they are dying. They are getting sick most of the time. It might be maybe your supplier has done some inbreeding, whereby he has not removed the roosters, then he allowed sister and brother to mate that same poultry house. It becomes a challenge for those chickens to grow because there's a genetic wiring that these chickens have. This is how they were created. Brother and sister cannot produce a strong chick. That chicken will have the weak immune system. That chicken will not grow at a good rate. Some of the chickens, they even just become stunned. Those are the chickens now you see like the breed is reducing. This is why we don't advise poultry farmers to do inbreeding. So like for us, the way we have these chickens that are here, because they are sister and brother, the roosters we're going to remove. And also including the father, we need to replace it with another chicken. If not so, we just have a rooster that will be mating with the rooster which is new from another farm. We will not allow brother and sister to mate because they will produce weak chickens. So for those who are supplying chickens, in case you want to be a supplier, you want to be a breeder, don't do inbreeding because it will give challenges to your customers. Your customers will have challenges to keep up with those chickens because of inbreeding. Inbreeding is very, very bad. It's not good. It's not good at all because chickens are very weak. So now, just in case you have, okay, in this scenario now, we'll look at you've got now a supplier who has given you good day old chicks, but still your chickens are dying. What do you think could be the problem? When it comes to keeping up with day old chicks, the other thing that you should consider when you buy day old chicks, smaller ones, you become the mother hen to those chickens, which means the way you are going to brood them will determine the way those chickens will grow. If they will grow bigger, if they will grow to be small, or maybe they will start dying and have weak immune system. That now depends on you, the one who's keeping the chickens. How is your brooding management? Do you have somewhere where you put the parameters of the temperature according to the days the chickens are? Because if you look at a chicken, if you've seen these local chickens, these are the ones that you can notice, because that's where we store this whole idea of brooding, using charcoal, using maybe gas stove, whatever we are using. But the fact is that we are producing heat for those chickens. So a mother hen, that what it will do, it will keep its chickens under its wings for maybe, I can say, 10 to 15 minutes. Then it will allow them again to go out there and pick some food. Then when it sees like they've started making a certain sound, it will sit down again and keep them inside in order to do what? To give them heat. It's the same thing we do in poultry farming. We keep the chickens in a room that is having a temperature at least on the first day 32 to 35. We keep them in that range of the atmosphere. So brooding could be the problem. That means it's you the problem. Now you need to learn the techniques and you need to learn how to brood your chickens better. The other thing that usually kills most of our day-old chicks is maybe the spread of diseases. Like there's an outbreak of diseases in your poultry. Your chickens will start dying, of course, especially small ones. Bigger ones have got the immune system which is strong. So this is why whenever a poultry farmer asks me, can I put small chickens and the bigger chickens in the same room? I always advise them to say, you need to separate the room. It's better you separate the room, maybe with a trampoline, but it's not that safe, but at least it will keep a distance from the diseases to go through into the other side. That way, it might help, but it's not really advisable. Rooms need to be separate because smaller chickens have weaker immune system than bigger chickens. So for broilers, if the broilers, the bigger ones, have an outbreak of diseases, it can be spread to the small ones. And the small ones are the ones who are going to be affected more than the bigger ones. So it is always advisable you keep them in separate rooms. The other ones are in this room, the other ones are in this room. But if you have good management and you've vaccinated your chickens against all types of diseases, it can be better. Because this is one of the measures that you could take in order to protect your chickens from dying out of outbreaks of diseases. Vaccinate your chickens against common diseases like Newcastle, fowl cholera, coryza, all these that are common. Make sure you vaccinate your chickens, then they will be protected from all those diseases. Then the other thing that you should consider is also the environment you are keeping in your chickens. It could affect your chickens' growth, your chickens dying. So here today we are talking about what could cause our chickens to die. You know that this environment can cause your chickens to die? Yes, it is very much possible. Especially for broilers, these commercial chickens, if you keep them in an environment which is really closed, there's no enough ventilation, your chickens will start dying because they will start having stress, heat stress, they'll have it, and then stress is the weaker point of your chicken's immune system. Your chicken's immune system becomes weak when the chickens are stressed. It doesn't matter which stress they are having, but their immune system become weak. Then the diseases come in, and then they start killing your chickens. They attack them, then your chickens start dying, and without noticing, your flock is halfway down. So ventilation is important. Also, the litter system doesn't have to be wet. It doesn't have. It just needs to be dry at all times. Make sure you keep it dry. Then you keep your chickens at a good environment. Then they'll be protected from those diseases, and diseases are the killers. So make sure litter is good enough, ventilation is enough for them, and then again, don't overcrowd the chickens. Don't do that. If you overcrowd them, it's easy for diseases to get into because when they are crowded, they are all breathing the air, and then the air is not moving out properly, and if you have not giving them enough ventilation, it is even worse now. So now, the other thing that we should consider is also the feed. Feed is very, very, very vital when it comes to keeping poultry farming. So with these chickens that I have, there's a particular feed formulation I make for them that boost up their immune system. There are also other things that I do like organic remedies. That's food to them. It's more like feed. For those who don't have fresh homemade remedies that I do, You can get dry ones, mix them in your feed. Then your feed will be converted at least with organic stuff that will strengthen the chicken's immune system. So feed is very important. Make sure you give your chickens a balanced diet feed. This is why me, I add up all the necessary needs, the necessary ingredients that they need, these chickens. I give them in my feed because I don't free range them. Even if I used to free range them, I would still make them a feed formula for them to have a balanced diet, for them to grow at a good pace. This is why my chickens are feeling well. My chickens are not sick. My chickens are very much healthy because the feed I give them, high quality feed. Broilers, layers, even you guys, you have to choose and check who's supplying me this feed. A supplier comes in place again. Is this supplier good with this feed? Is this feed good? Make sure you get high quality feed because high quality feed will give you high quality production. So another thing that should also consider that is in your hand is also water. Don't give your chickens water contaminated with contaminated water. If that water that you are giving your chickens, you can't drink it, don't even dare to give it to your chickens. You need to make sure the chickens you are giving to your chickens, the water you are giving to your chickens, you are able to drink it. Because if you are not, that means that water is not safe for the chickens. Make sure whatever you are giving your chickens, that the water is not contaminated. If possible, add some apple cider vinegar into your water so that it can kill those other bacteria. It is very helpful if you can put 1 teaspoon into your 4 liters drinkers, then it will be helpful for the chickens, and then that water will be very much safe. So no contaminated water. If you can't drink it, don't give it to your chickens. Another thing that you should consider is also dogs. I also have a dog around here, but I can't leave it with small chickens because it is very vicious with small chickens. At least bigger chickens, they can protect themselves. So dogs, these are predators. They can kill our chickens. Also, the other thing we should consider is the rats. They can also eat our small chickens. Even bigger chickens, they start to eat them out. If you've never seen that before, rats can eat your chickens. There's a video I posted a few months ago about somebody who lost almost their whole batch because the flooring was not properly made. So the rats could dig from the floor, then they started eating those chickens. The small chicks, the old chicks, they were eaten. It was very pitiful and it wasn't good at all. So predators. Also snakes. There are some places like in rural areas, snakes are there. Try to put out at least snake repellent so that your chickens might be safe. Make sure you put the repellent. Sometimes it's even easy to make a snake repellent. You can just get kerosene, put in a bottle, just on top of that bottle where at the lid, you just put a small kerosene, put out some hose. That same smell, snakes don't like it. They don't like kerosene smell, not at all. So you repel them so that your chickens are safe. Also, even accidents. Accidents also happen. There are some poultry farmers you put feed in the same room. Sometimes they might slip off and just fall on your chickens, and your chickens will die immediately. So it's not really safe. You need to make sure accidents are avoided by putting everything. If the feeders are having some sharp edges that could hurt your chickens, especially for broilers. There's one time I bought a broiler chicken and it had some cuts and it wasn't good at all. And uh, customer don't like chickens that are cut, and sometimes even just the cut for you as a poultry farmer could affect your chickens. There might be some bacteria that could go in, some viruses, then affect your chicken. So make sure if you have feeders that are not good enough, take them out to avoid accidents for your chickens to be at a safe place because some they die after the cut, diseases enters, the chickens start to die. So guys, that's it for today. I hope this video has helped somebody and I hope somebody will be able to follow all these steps. Check the supplier, your brooding, your environment, disease outbreak, avoid them, uh, high quality feed, contaminated water, and predators. Make sure you guys follow all these so that you can be successful in your broiler poultry farming, in your layer poultry farming, in your local chickens. All of these, avoid all these in order for your chickens to grow very well, especially a supplier. That supplier, check on him very much well And then also check on yourself on your brooding management. That way you will be successful in broiler poultry farming or in other venture of poultry farming. So guys, that's it for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and hopefully you will share this video to others and like the video. And if you have anything or any other, you can put it in the comment section, then we'll be able to respond to that. And for those who still have questions, you can just go into my section, the comment section, ask me any question, then I'll be able to upload a video in order for you to have a safe way of doing poultry farming. I'll be able to respond according to your questions, because it's not only you facing that problem, even others are facing that problem. So guys, I'll see you on the other video. Bye bye.